Good evening everyone, welcome to Forgotten stream. Tonight I'm joined by MixD.
Good evening.
And we are live casting a Trackmania match between Crazy Machine Chicks 2 and Dunno². They are competing in Division 3 of United League Reborn 4 in Trackmania United Forever. This is round 4 and we have 3 maps to play tonight. Coast, bay and desert environments. We already played the rally map yesterday, and that went 7-0 in the way of CMC. Do you have any expectations?
Well, rally was kind of a kicking, so I'm hoping for like a closer competition than we had on the first map, and we should do.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to the Deadmania times, but I hear that there are some intimidating times in Deadmania there from Dunno².
Yeah, Morgi is a very competent coast driver. I see Pavel is able to keep up. I don't know who that is. He's a new addition for the Dunno² team. I also saw some deadly times by Turbo and Pavel on desert, I think. So yeah, it is definitely going to be closer than yesterday, but I cannot say what exactly we're in for.
Is Coast changed for you? Are the horns new for your stream? Or did you have them before?
I had them before.
Ah, okay. You take good advantage of having horn usage in the warm-up because I'm sure the actual match will be quieter. But yeah, it's always fun. Oh, we're going to desert. Okay. So this is new. We're going to have the new horns finally on stream.
Yeah, I just managed to download the skins on Thursday, I think. I still find it bizarre that I'm using the same file that all the rest of you, but I cannot apparently see the skins.
It is very weird, yep. Very weird.
So it looks like we're going to be starting with the desert map, which is called Schlaufen der Zukunft. I'm sorry for my German pronunciation. The map is built by TM Jonas, a legendary TMX mapper who also has some league maps in the past. And yeah, I didn't train the map a whole lot, so I don't have any insight. I presume you also didn't train a lot, since you don't even have to play it this week.
Well, not a lot, but inevitably, being the sociable chap that I am, I have been on some training servers this week where this is being played, so I've certainly taken a few runs through it. Morgi says no horns during match, right?
Oh, he's in for a surprise. Well, I don't know. We have Wormi, Jake and Rez. I don't know how much they like to honk. Let's hope they do enjoy it.
I'll be reduced horn usage, but guaranteeing none is... yeah. It's interesting what drivers sometimes get disturbed by, or apparently disturbed. I think TFS seem to be disturbed by people joining the server. I've been watching other people's streams and nobody else seems to care. So it seems to be just like a TFS thing that they've convinced themselves that it's a problem. But anyway, yeah, some people do not like the horns. And on some environments, it would matter more if you're listening to your gears, for example. Okay, sand section. I don't know. Who are you spectating me?
I'm currently on Toyeca. Let's go to your view. I'm on you.
I went past the interesting bit. That was probably the only bit I wanted to comment on. Oh, that's tight through there. You really have to watch for the two-wheeling. Getting some dangerous wobbles through there. You can lose time easily. More two-wheeling here. Yeah, you can slide out. Yeah, there's quite a lot of two-wheeling on this one. And of course, tunnels are always entertaining because you can't tell what turns are coming up. Getting flat on this booster, not as important as I thought apparently. I always used to two-wheel around the corner and try to get flat on the booster, but I think it's better to get through the turn as smoothly as possible and take your chances with the booster.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to have Pavel, Toyeca and Turbo driving for Dunno, and it will be Wormi, Jake and Rez driving for CMC. It's going to be interesting since I did see Turbo and Pavel in Daddy, and I know Toyeca is a decent desert driver. I mean, he is a decent driver overall, but desert seems to be one of his preferred environments.
Good chances for possibilities to bump there as you transition from sand to road. It's always a risky one. Actually seems pretty good on this map. The good line is not very bumpy anyway. You take it a bit more inside than you would expect and you're okay. I'm going to be intrigued who takes the second turn, the first turn full speed. You're coming off a bank onto flat and it's just kind of awkward. So I'm going to be looking for people sliding out there if they do try to full speed it. Alright, we're all warmed up.
Yeah, hopefully everyone is ready, because I don't want to wait too long, especially with my time zone.
Yeah, of course, time zone change in a lot of Europe, but not for you.
Yes, so now my difference to most of people is 2 hours instead of 1 hour. This is going to be exciting. On the evidence of warm-up, yeah, I would say Toyeca and Pavel are definitely competitive. Turbo apparently hasn't finished a single run.
Sandbagging.
Oh yes, indeed. So the map is about to begin. We are already on the starting grid and the lights are out and away we go. We didn't see any crashes at the start transition. I think... Ooh, Rez slid a bit there, lost some time. Jake was in last position. And we have Wormi fighting Toyeca for the lead, followed by 2 more Dunno players. Wormi actually dropping back down to 3rd. This is just not looking good for CMC. Anyway, it's just round number 1. Toyeca and Turbo streaking away into the distance. Pavel coming right through into the leading pack. Wormi makes another mistake. He was on a comeback trail, but he fell back. So 3 Dunno players in the lead, closely followed by Wormi, but unless they are going to crash, it will be a round win for Dunno. Let's see how things are going to develop. I think Jake has managed to catch up. This will not suffice. 1-2 for Dunno. Wormi manages to steal away the 3rd position, but it is first blood for Dunno².
Yeah, That's a good starting statement for them, but only half a second covering the first 5 drivers, so pretty close going. And as we see, Pavel has dropped back just a little bit there at the start, come off the bank, and we do have a slide and a crash in the tunnel. At the moment, Toyeca out front, followed by Wormi, Rez, and Pavel. Pavel is makes a mistake. He was going to go past Rez, but right now it's a CMC round, but only by 1 point. So we have a crash. Turbo crashes in the tunnel, and that makes it just well. Could have made it safer for CMC, but we have Rez sliding off, Pavel crashing on the quarter pipe. It's all changing, but it is CMC by 1 point right now. We need Wormi to stay out front, and Rez crashes. Pavel gets past him. Jake gets past Turbo, so all the positions are changing, but the result right now is the same. CMC is still 1 point ahead. Pavel crashes. Let's Rez get ahead. Each sub-match, Wormi, CMC has got 1 ahead of Dunno², so that makes it safe for CMC, and actually they pull off a 1-2 in the end, and Pavel destroys his stats, missing the finish completely.
Yes, and also Toyeca missed the finish. So it is a double failure for Dunno². And CMC do manage to take this round, but that was so close.
A 110 from Wormi. Best time of the match so far.
It is indeed good enough for the top 30. Round number 3. We have Wormi, Pavel and Rez in the lead. Rez looking good at the moment. Pavel keeping up. Into the tunnel we go. Nobody sliding there or making any mistakes. Rez and Wormi continuing to battle it out up front. Pavel with a good line, Wormi touching a tunnel wall. I think Turbo crashed there. That makes it a favorable situation for CMC, because we have Pavel in the lead, but he's followed by 3 CMC drivers, and there's a comfortable enough gap from Wormi to Turbo. Only a few more corners to go into the last tunnel. No mistakes to speak of from the leading 4 drivers, and it is 2-3-4 for CMC, enough to seal the round win.
Well, so a little bit messy from a couple of the Dunno drivers there, but sure they can refocus and come back. There's some pretty good times. 1:11 seems to be a popular time. So here we go into round 4. Toyeca takes an early lead. Wormi with a slight error makes a mistake, and Toyeca loses his lead there going up on the bank. He's back in 4th already, but there is not much in it. Turbo is only 0.4 behind, or he was. He crashed. He's now a checkpoint behind. So in the leading pack, we have 2 Dunnos out front, with Wormi fighting to get into 2nd. He hasn't quite made it yet, but they are going to have somebody up there to make the change. It's a Dunno round at the moment with that 1-2, makes it safe for them. They wouldn't even need Turbo to finish, and we have a crash from Wormi. So now it's up to Jake and Rez, or they have to hope that Dunno, the lead Dunno drivers have a crash. Because this, they can't pull back this time at this point. And Dunno do take it with a 1-2.
Yes, a comfortable 1-2. They tie up the score once again. And Pavel and Toyeca are going pretty strong. I wonder if this is going to go into tennis mode. I definitely wouldn't like that. The maps are long and the night is short. Round 5. Toyeca once again was in the lead. I saw Jake crashing. We have Pavel out in front, but now it is a tight pack from Turbo with a bad crash there. So we have Pavel and Wormi fighting it out for the lead, closely followed by Rez and Toyeca. A weird bug for Pavel, but he continues. They are going 1 and 3 for Dunno², so even with Turbo being so far behind, this is going to be a round win for Dunno². Unless something happens. Wormi is trying to make it happen. He is neck and neck with Pavel. It's all to play for in the last corners. Pavel going a bit too much on 2 wheels, dropping just a little bit of time, and that is sufficient for him to drop behind Wormi. And just like that, CMC are going to take the lead 3-2. And Wormi with a 1:10.95. Once again, good enough for daily top 30.
Everyone has put in a decent time at this point. So hopefully we'll continue with this close match. And Wormi goes into an early lead. He had a beautiful line off that bank turn. Very nice. And everyone is tight right now. I heard some skidding, but it does not seem to have been disastrous. And at the moment, Dunno² with a 1-2. But Wormi's going to fight them for it. They're holding on to it right now. Turbo with a bump transitioning onto the road, and he crashes into the wall in the tunnel. So that does give CMC some hope, but at the moment in positions 3, 4, 5, that is still a losing position for them. And Dunno² are going to want to go safe. They've got a 0.3 lead, or they had. Rez is fighting back. They need more than this. They need to pull up 2 positions to make a difference. Toyeca gets a bit wobbly there, and Rez does make it past him, but not for long. And this is going to be a 1-2 again for Dunno².
Yes.
1:10.81 for Pavel.
A good turn there from Pavel. CMCs aren't able to keep up with the Dunno² drivers in this round. To answer the question from the chat by Legion, nobody knows who Pavel is. That is just some discovery from Marius89. He's said to be some solo player without any competitive background, but with some good skills. I don't know. Either way, round 7. Ooh, Pavel crashes badly at the tunnel. He's definitely out of the round. Up front we have Rez, chased by Turbo and Toyeca. There's Jake and Wormi not too far behind. Rez crashed. I also saw Turbo crashing. So it is now Toyeca in the lead, but he slid off the road and onto the sand and dropped down to 5th. And we have Jake, Wormi and Rez leading for a 1-2-3 for CMC. Hope they can keep their positions and finish just like that. That would be a certain round win. Let's see. Turbo and Toyeca are not too far behind, but there is just nowhere to make any mistakes. And it is 1-2-3 for CMC indeed. 4-3.
Well, that might be the first sign of weakness from Pavel. He had been leading the points by quite a bit up to then, but even coming in last there, he is still first in points. It's interesting that a solo player can come in, and we'll just see if, you know, he won't be used to match nerves, I guess, if he is just a solo player. So we'll see if that's starting to take its toll now. And I do finally hear a horn. I think that's the first one of the match. Cunningly designed to be the same sound as hitting the pipes in desert. At the moment, Dunno² with a 136 is a winning position for the round, but only by 1 point. So CMC could easily make things change here. And they have, in fact, pulled in with a 145. That's the lead, and we lose Toyeca. Slides off the edge of the platform. So Turbo is the only Dunno now who can make any kind of difference, and even with that, they're going to need at least one CMC to crash or make a really bad mistake. And with Pavel and Toyeca 4 seconds behind, that is unlikely. I think CMC are trying to put themselves off with honking at this point. And Rez does in fact crash into the finish, but manages the finish counts. So I don't know if that was for humor purposes or what was going on there. But nevertheless, a CMC win.
Yes.
That brings us to 5-3.
I think Rez just wanted to go ever so tight at the finish, didn't quite pull it off, but not a disastrous consequence. Yeah, a bit too crashy from Dunno in previous rounds, and right now we have Toyeca and Turbo in the lead, closely followed by Wormi, but he didn't get the best line through that tunnel, and Rez did manage to close in on the Dunno players, and he's currently neck and neck with Pavel. Pavel a bit too wobbly there, drops some time. Rez in the lead from Jake, Pavel and Wormi. And Pavel dropping a little bit behind, so we have CMCs in position 1, 2, 3. Rez maybe a bit too wide there. So we have basically nothing separating the CMC drivers. Then there is Turbo coming back in. Oh, Jake crashed. But that won't matter too much, because we do have 1-2 from Rez and Wormi, and that is sufficient to get us the round win. Map point for CMC then, 6-3.
That was a little unlucky for Rez. He was half a second up on his Dedamania time there and lost it all in one turn. Blue phobia, we call it sometimes, because the checkpoint deltas show up in blue, which means you're ahead of your best time. But anyway, here we go. Potentially the last round, but we will see. Rez makes a mistake. And that gives Dunno the 1-2, so it switches from what had been a CMC win to a Dunno win at the moment. Of course, not a map win if Dunno win this round, but it is if CMC take it. So Wormi trying hard to make the difference. He gets past Turbo. He's gonna need some backup though, and he does not get it because Jake slides out onto the sand there. And Rez hits the wall and makes a mistake, so this is getting sloppy at the end here for CMC as Dunno move into 2-3-4, and that's all they need for this map win. But Toyeca makes a mistake, but if they can hold on to 2-3-5, they still get this round. And that does look promising for them, only 0.2 between Jake and Toyeca. So can Jake's going to have to make the difference, and there's no way at the end, just too far back. That's a Dunno round.
Yes, indeed. Wormi with a 110. He takes the round win, but that is not enough. He doesn't have any backup from his teammates. 4-6. CMC is still in the lead, still at map point. But they should just focus and get the job done. Because once you get into tennis mode, anything can happen. Right now we have Rez out in front, chased by Pavel, Toyeca and Wormi. Pavel a bit out of shape in that tunnel. He's still right in the mix. Wormi currently in second. Ooh, Pavel with a slide and a bad crash. He's out of the round. Rez still leading, Toyeca with a crash, imitating the sounds of CMC horn. Ooh, Jake with a crash. What is going on in this round? Rez still first, followed by Turbo and Wormi. So unless these two drivers crash, this should be a map win for CMC. Wormi actually looking to make up some ground on Turbo. won't have any success, but Rez manages to get a 1:10.72, I believe best time of the match so far. Wormi gets third and Jake finishes, so it is map win for CMC.
Yeah, and CMC in fact take the top 2 points, driver points, Wormi and Rez. Rez just 1 point ahead of Pavel there, so yeah, Pavel did crumble a little bit at the end. Rez with a very nice finish managed to get his Dedamania best time in that last round. And Jake, well, what a crash, and had real difficulty recovering there. Maybe it would have been better respawning. I'm actually not sure about the respawn points there. It's almost a bit of a question, you know. If, how well you know the checkpoints. You think, look, if I respawn here, is it going to take me another, 6 seconds to get back to this point? Or should I just try to recover from where I am? So yeah, always a little bit entertaining that, and it's a real pressure decision to have to make in the middle of a match if you're not super familiar with what was my last checkpoint. Of course, some drivers even forget to check out what the respawns are in training, which has led to many frustrating and hilarious moments in matches.
Okay, we're into map 2 for tonight. That is a bay map from Black-Q and Wormi called KGB Found My Lolly Hentai Stash. A weird track name, I admit. And I believe Dunno² are missing a player that was supposed to be driving. So Morgi went somewhere else searching for him, but considering that he's back already, I guess he didn't manage to find his player. This looks interesting, but it is unfortunate. We do want to have close racing, not some beating like we had yesterday on Rally.
Indeed. So, you qualified for this map, you said?
No, I didn't qualify. I was tied for third with Rez, but
That's qualifying.
I didn't really want to drive this map in the first place, and Rez is definitely faster than me.
Nah. So you have the option to drive it, but
yeah, if Rez doesn't feel like it. And we also have SuperNoob, who is going to be driving.
Ooh, this finish with all the cars. That is not easy.
You mean the start, of course.
The start, I do mean the start. Wow, what a brain fart.
Yeah, for a moment there, you just cannot see anything if you're right in the mix with all the rest.
And this map name, I'm not even really sure what it means, but luckily it is authored or half-authored by somebody who is driving in this match, Wormi. Maybe he can explain what that means to us.
Maybe he will, so that I would be able to tell next time I stream, which will be on Tuesday, and we will have CMC against Airvan, a Division 1 match. That would be one to look out for. Just a bit of advertisement right there.
And why not? Yeah, so a collaborative effort, this map, from Wormi and Black-Q, who is one of my favourite mappers.
Are you
Not one of,
serious?
I mean, it's, yeah, the Black-Q maps I usually love. This one I'm less in love with. I mean, it's still a good map, but, well.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a bad map, but I don't really enjoy driving it, and it is definitely hard to learn.
We go over the top there, and there's some chances for two-wheeling accidents there, or chances for getting too much air time, and that can be pretty terrible for your time. In this grid, there are debates about what is the best line to take on the downhill part, because going on the inside often leads to the car bumping quite a lot, losing grip and just sliding out. If you go wider, of course it takes longer to go round, but you wind up with a better exit speed, and it does seem to be safer in terms of not having that bump, if you do it right, of course. Black grid always has the potential to be entertaining in Bay because of those aspects, bumpiness and sliding factor. Not as bad as island banked turns. Oof, they can be painful.
They can be buggy as hell also.
Yeah. I always like to have starts where you have to release, you know, it puts a little bit of, it means the racing starts right at the start, you know? Rather than having just a press forward start. Get into the action straight away.
You know, there was one map in the voting pack which did have about 5 seconds of press forward.
Oof.
Exciting start.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention that the exit for the tunnel, I mean, we've gone past it already, but it's very tight, so a lot of potential for crashes there. And this uphill that we're coming to, that you're probably at already, the landing for that is really tricky. A lot of potential to mess that up and lose a load of time there as well. The landing onto this roof, again, you're landing at an angle, so there's potential for unwanted slides there as well. So yeah, a lot of challenging spots on this map. A lot of opportunities for people to pick up time and lose time. So yeah, I'm expecting a lot of position changes throughout this map. It should be exciting. People, I think, maybe they're looking for a bit more warm-up on this map than they would on other maps.
Yes, because Morgi is apparently forced to drive the map, which he wasn't meant to. Because one of their players is absent. I hope they can be ready after this round. I don't want to wait for another 80 seconds or so.
Yeah, these are all long maps that came in this map pack, kind of an unusual thing for, I mean, especially when you have a week where it was 4 maps, for all the maps to be sort of 110 and 115.
Yeah. A weird choice. Or maybe there was no choice.
Of course, that 110, 115 is for a decent time.
Yeah, and people will inevitably crash. So
yeah, we're always waiting for the last driver to finish.
yeah, we'll have 20 seconds timeout.
Ooh, hopefully we don't need all of that.
Yes, indeed.
Morgi seems to know route. Is that enough? How would you rate this? What's the dementia rating for this track?
I'd say 8 out of 10.
Okay. So we can still expect Morgi to be struggling with remembering turns then.
Well, he was driving sort of 113s yesterday, same times as me.
Okay.
So he shouldn't be too lost.
Warm up, he's done a 115.
But yeah,
We'll see.
I would rate it highly on the dementia scale.
Gosh, so many white names in these lineups.
Okie dokie, we have TheSuperNoob, Rez, Wormi against Morgi, Turbo and Pavel. And we are into round number 1. We have Rez and Pavel fighting for the lead. Rez, not the best line there, drops a lot of time. Pavel currently first, followed by Wormi. Morgi and Rez managed to catch up right there. Let's switch to Rez, I think, who's in third. Turbo. Ooh, Rez. That is not a good line to take. He crashes at the tunnel exit. And we have SuperNoob in third, but he's over a second behind the leaders, which happen to be Wormi and Pavel. Pavel still in the lead. Rez actually down in last position, and as things stand, it will be a round win for Dunno unless something happens. Wormi, I believe, can make something happen. He sneaks into the lead, but he does need to hold it, which doesn't look like is going to happen. Pavel wins the round, followed by Wormi and SuperNoob, but Rez, with an impressive comeback, manages to salvage 4th position and win the round for us.
Wow.
Incredible scenes at the end.
Yeah, what a finish. Very impressive. So an unexpected, or slightly unexpected, first round win there for CMC. And of course, we with our CMC bias will be hoping that they can keep that up. But Dunno are obviously not going to make it easy. They've got fight in them on this map, and they've got the speed. As we come to the tunnel, they want to brake hard and point into the turn to make a good landing, which will give you good exit speed. It does make it harder to make that very tight exit, but you got to go for it sometimes. So at the moment, CMC with a lead in positions 1, 4, 5. Wormi with a 0.1 lead over Pavel at the moment. And Pavel obviously is going to fight back. And Wormi with a much better landing there though, streaks away. It's got a very handy lead now. Morgi in last place. CMC do have it, but only by 1 point at the moment, and it's going to be difficult for Dunno to make any difference here, and in fact CMC do take it.
Yes, once again, Wormi and Pavel fighting for the lead, and Wormi prevailing this time round. I think that uphill section where he overtook Pavel was built by Wormi himself, so I hope that he does know how to drive that part properly. 2-0 for CMC. We're into round number 3. We have Rez leading this time round, but it is neck and neck with Turbo and Pavel, who actually finds himself in first position. Turbo a bit sloppy on the landing, drops some insignificant amount of time. A very different line there from Turbo, gaining a lot more speed, but it takes a lot more time. Pavel still in the lead. As things stand, it would be a CMC round win, but we do want to make it more comfortable. Turbo not with the best line on this uphill landing. Let's switch to Rez, I think. Pavel still out in front. Wormi and Rez still chasing. But they are not going to succeed. It is a round win for CMC once again, but Pavel takes another round win.
Yeah, a bit closer this time, just 10-11, only 1 point in it. Could you give us some quick feedback on controllers? I think Morgi is using keyboard, but I'm not sure where everyone else is.
That is correct. Wormi, Rez and SuperNoob, I believe, are all on gamepads, and I have no intel on Pavel and Turbo.
Okay. So, we have had a two crashes, wow, and that puts, CMC winning at the moment, but only by 1 point, but Everyone has spread out a bit. Oh well, not anymore. Turbo and Wormi at the front, battling it out. And at the moment, oof, whoa, that is scary stuff. And Turbo makes a mistake. He hits the wall as well. Lets Rez get past. That puts CMC into a 1-2. And in fact, Morgi goes past Turbo. Dunno have a keyboard driver as their lead driver right now. An intriguing turn of events on Bay. Wormi and Rez have a strong lead. They should be thinking about safing at this point. I hope they have their HUDs on and are aware of that fact. But no signs of them safing, but they nevertheless finish safely. 112s, and that's a CMC round.
You say no signs of them driving it safely. Wormi actually took the longer finish to the left.
Oof,
That's the level of awareness he had, and he still managed to win the round.
Good job, Wormi.
That is as safe as you can get. 4-0 for CMC. We're into round number 5, and Wormi is in the lead, followed by Turbo and Rez. Pavel was right there, but he did touch a wall, so dropped some time, and now I think, yeah, he was driving on 2 wheels for too much. Dropped even more time, but he's so fast, he's coming back. He's currently in 4th and already looking to overtake some CMC drivers. I think SuperNoob must have had a bad crash, just like Rez, who disappeared right in front of my eyes. So it looks like this round is going to go the way of Dunno, unless they manage to crash excitingly. Wormi, I wanted to say, had a good line at that uphill landing, so that he overtook Turbo, but Pavel managed to get himself in front of him. And right now Turbo wants to get his 2nd position, which he does. A terrible round for CMC, all things considered. First point for Dunno, 4-1.
Yeah, Dunno stamping their authority on that one. So we'll just see if CMC can refocus and get back to winning some rounds. They don't want to get too comfortable. It's a 4-1 lead, but as we know in Trackmania, things can always change. Pavel takes an early lead, chased by 3 CMCs, but of course it is all tight at the start right now. And SuperNoob has dropped back. Oh no, yeah. Everyone else fighting. And they get to the exit of the tunnel except for SuperNoob, who crashes at the tunnel, so he's pretty much out of it on this one. So it's going to be up to 2 CMC guys near the front to make a difference, but things not looking too hot for them right now. Rez makes it past Wormi and they're both chasing down. Morgi and Pavel out in front by 2 seconds. He's going to need to... He would have to crash for CMC to be able to make any difference at this point. Dunno with a very strong lead. Wormi and Rez threatening to get past Morgi, and Wormi does so briefly and makes a 2nd attempt. Looks like he's going to make it, only just. But that's not going to be enough to take the round.
And
SuperNoob's struggling at the back.
Pavel actually manages to finish with a 1:10.64, which is a great time indeed on this map. It is about 2 seconds slower than the world record, but in rounds in Division 3, this is next level stuff. 4-2 CMC are in the lead. We have 6 rounds behind us, and let's see how things are going to develop. Morgi with a slide there, drops time. I think I saw some CMC driver going way too wide at that uphill.
Rez with too much airtime.
Pavel currently in the lead, chased by Wormi and Turbo. SuperNoob and Rez are somewhere in the mix. but ooh, Turbo with a slide drops into 5th, and Wormi actually manages to overtake Pavel. I missed that. Pavel is a very quick driver. Let's see if he... Ooh! No, he definitely isn't going to make any sort of comeback after that crash. So Wormi leading comfortably by 1.5 seconds from Rez. That should be fairly comfortable. He actually takes the longer finish once again and finishes with a 1:11.38. A quick round from Wormi there.
Yeah, he could have gone for a faster time if he wanted to TA and just take the faster finish. We did have somebody joining mid-round there and nobody cared. Amazing stuff. Here we go into round 8. CMC at the moment with a 5-2 lead. No serious errors at the start there. Almost potential to slide. Good potential to slide on this fast turn as well. Oof, and somebody does. Any airtime here? And not bad with the leaders this time round. CMC with a useful 1-2 lead right now. Pavel has dropped back. Wormi takes a crash at that tight exit there. So he's going to lose a bunch of time, but he's only dropped back to 3rd at the moment. Is that correct? 4th. So CMC with 134. And that is promising for them. SuperNoob in 3rd place, making a good showing on this round. Turbo makes a bad mistake. Oof. Now that's painful, and at this point CMC should just go safe. With a 1-2-3 and half a second ahead of the nearest Dunno driver, but another 4.5 seconds, 3.5, sorry, ahead of the other Dunno drivers. Super safe, chaps. Wormi goes super safe, but Rez doesn't. But that is a 1-2-3 for CMC, and that brings us to map point.
Yes, a lot of crashes from Dunno drivers in this round, and Turbo with a very nice stunt. He managed to continue the way he was going. And we are into round 9, potentially last on this map. Pavel and Wormi are ahead. Ooh, SuperNoob slides and crashes, but it is not crucial, unlike Turbo, who needed to respawn. Pavel once again finds himself fighting for the lead. And he crashes at the tunnel exit, which puts Wormi and Rez into the first 2 positions, followed by Morgi, but he's over a second behind, so these two should just drive safely and bring it home. Let's see if they're going to do that, or they're going to start time attacking. Doesn't look like the latter at this very moment. Ooh, Rez with a crash. That is not how you want to drive this spot, but he is still in 2nd, so I bet Wormi is going to go for the long finish. No, he doesn't. He drives his personal best at 1:11 low, and it is a comfortable round win for CMC, and we take Bay.
Yeah, so Dunno deflated somewhat like an underbaked cake on that round. And yeah, kind of a dominant last round. 14-7 for CMC on that last round. But yeah, not necessarily representative. A 7-2 scoreline, not necessarily representative, I should say, of how close the racing was on that. Was I get the feeling that could have gone either way, really.
Oh yes, indeed, because that 7-2 doesn't quite paint the whole picture.
So, the new arrival for Dunno², Don't Care, I presume is going to be driving this map. Maybe he's just here to spectate and cheerlead, but we'll see Turbo retiring. So that suggests a lineup. Anyway,
I also see some messages in chat by Legion. Wormi said that map name is the random message from Black Q. And also, I'm informed that the current DD1 on Bay was set in match.
oof.
That must have been an exciting one.
Wait, in whose match?
Well, that would
Not
be
in that match.
that would be TFS TNT.
Okay.
Something that I would very much liked to have seen for myself. But as we have this match going on, I have no other choice.
Well, there will be streams to watch, so we can always go and check that. It'll be cool. Yeah, so it appears we have to interrogate Black Q on the meaning of lolly hentai.
I wonder if that is going to be possible with him rage quitting the United Unicorns Discord server. Maybe
I was thinking,
maybe I can query him in private.
we could have the KGB interrogate him, except the KGB doesn't exist anymore, does it? Didn't it?
Yeah,
Wasn't that for...
I think that
does, or
was
no?
just the Soviet thing.
Yes, it was Soviet Union, which is quite some time ago now. But the meme lives on. I wonder if Black Q was even born when the KGB were a thing.
Pretty sure he wasn't. He's definitely a few years younger than me. And I was born the year oh my god. I'm losing words in my mind. The Soviet Union collapsed. Yeah, he wouldn't have lived in the times of KGB.
And KGB wouldn't have had jurisdiction in his in Black Q's country anyway. But but I don't know. Were they purely an internal thing, or were they external? I really don't know.
Well, unfortunately, I'm pretty ignorant myself, so cannot fill you in there.
Ancient history. I wonder if lolly hentai is also ancient history then. Is Black Q a historical scholar, or is he some other kind of scholar? Well, the mysteries. Wow, what random crap I sometimes wind up talking about. I blame Black Q. Anyway, Coast. So, Morgi. I'm expecting to be strong here.
And it is actually, yeah, Coast, the Scottish method from Snack.
Oof. Forgotten the name even.
What do you know about Scottish methods?
Well, I think this is... I don't know, there doesn't seem to be anything about cooking haggis on this map, so I'm entirely perplexed. Maybe it's about distilling whiskey? I don't know. So again, a map name that's a mystery. Snack, I think, is Spanish.
Yes, he is indeed. And I have set up a custom camera for the finish. That should be interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna need mapper interviews. Find out what Snack, or Ogasol as his login is. Again, no idea about pronunciation for that. Find out what he knows about Scottish methods. Could be a reference to infamous Trackmania driver Minwee.
Could be, but to me, the Scottish driving legend is Noctrom.
Was he Stadium?
He was an island driver.
Ah, okay. See, to me, the Scottish driving legend is Mudslinger, our long-time teammate in CMC. Hasn't been seen active for a few years now, and who
Yeah,
somehow I've never met, even though he lives, I don't know, 30 miles away from me.
was
I,
Muslinger an all-rounder?
Mudslinger, yeah, he was pretty all-rounder. He started on TMO and came to Crazy Machine Chicks from Machine Drivers, one of the founding clans of Crazy Machine Chicks. In fact, he was one of the guys that hired me. Machine Drivers.
That is interesting, but yeah, that was way before my time. Well, he was probably active when I started playing Trackmania. When I started playing competitive, he was, I think, already inactive. So yeah,
Could be.
I wouldn't have known him. But Noctron, to me, was a legend because he was a mate and he was an excellent island driver. It was actually Noctron's presence in DR UKR at the time that prompted me to join the DR team.
Ah,
I was considering between making an application for DR and CMC, and in the end I decided to go for DR.
oof. Oh, if I'd have known that, we might not have accepted you into CMC in the end. Kidding, of course.
But I obviously thought that I wasn't good enough for CMC, and I did have some friends in DR UKR. At the time, they were DR UKR.
Yeah, well, the social aspect, joining friends in a team is always a big determinant of where you want to go. So it looks like we're starting up.
Yes, indeed, and it looks like Sepe is actually going to be driving for CMC. Which is a nice turn of events. I expected SuperNoob to be driving, but he let Sepe do it.
Alright, should be interesting to see how this goes. I'm not sure if Sepa has driven a coast match in... a coast map in competition before. We'll see.
Okie dokie, Sepe, Rez and Jake against Morgi, Turbo and Pavel. Let's see how this one is going to go. Sepe with a slow start, Turbo sliding like it's Tokyo Drift. And that obviously doesn't work in coast environment. Morgi is leading away comfortably, followed by Rez, Pavel, Jake and Sepe, the two Finns. Well, this I expect to be the toughest match of all against Dunno², because Morgi is, as I said, a very competent coast driver. And he's proving just that at the moment. He is untroubled in the lead. Rez and Jake are second and third, and Sepe is fighting Pavel for fourth. He was successful for the moment, and let's see the finish from my custom camera, which you can only see at the stream. Yeah, Morgi wins the round, but he doesn't have any backup with the best Dunno driver in fourth and Turbo in sixth.
Right, a spread of times on that first round, 4 seconds from first to last. Okay, so Morgi taking an early lead again. He's demonstrating his strength on this environment and on this map. And at the moment, Dunno have it by 1 point. So they're We're gonna need somebody to fight past Morgi, or Sepe is gonna have to try and get past Pavel, and Pavel does make a slight mistake at the back there, just brushing a wall, I think, but it's really not losing much time. So at the moment, the hot fight is Jake versus Rez, but unfortunately that wouldn't make any difference to the result, and they both make mistakes. Jake hits the wall and Rez slides out. That leaves Morgi in a very safe position, unless he makes a horrifying mistake at the finish, and he does not. He comes in first with 105.28, and Dunno coming in fourth and fifth, finish it off. Taking it by 1 point, but that's good enough. And that's 1-all.
Yeah, Morgi very fast there. Sepe not quite able to overcome the Dunno drivers. And I see Morgi sliding at the start. That is interesting. Let's see just how far back that drops him. 1.5 seconds. I think he can make a comeback. I saw Turbo making a few errors. And Pavel must have made a mistake as well, because we have Rez, Jake and Sepe in positions 1, 2 and 3. What do Dunno have as an answer? Pavel makes a mistake yet again and again. He's down to last position. Morgi is in fourth. He's eyeing up that fourth, which is currently occupied by Sepe. He's closing in slowly but steadily. Sepe sliding a bit there. He's holding his ground, but Morgi is just that much faster. But no, Sepe actually manages to overtake Morgi right at the finish. And
Yeah, very nice from Sepe there. I expected Morgi. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, I would have expected Morgi be a little bit faster there and have taken it. Not this time. So nice job, Sepe. Here we go. Round 4. Morgi this time didn't make the mistake right at the start, but he hits the inside there. So he goes from first to fourth. That has made all the difference to the result. Oh, or it had. But at the moment, well, Morgi makes another mistake. And a third mistake. So now it is CMC handily in the lead. Sepe slides out. Morgi gets past him. But CMC with a 1-2. Turbo is chasing down Rez. Be enough to make the difference right now. As we go into the closing stages of this map, Jake and Rez just need to hold on. Rez with a 0.4 lead. He should go safe, and they can have it easily. Oof, he does slide, but makes it into the finish, barely by 0.14 there ahead of Turbo. Not that alone would have made the difference. CMC round win.
Yes, a bit too crashy there from Morgi. 2 rounds in a row, so that allows the CMC drivers to take rounds rather comfortably, and he slid away and crashed at the start once again. Let's see if Turbo and Pavel are going to make anything happen in this round, because it doesn't look like Morgi is going to be fighting for the lead. We have Jake leading away from Rez and Turbo. Pavel is chased by Sepe. There is a mighty scrap between them. Turbo is hot on Rez's tails, and Pavel has crashed. Yeah, Turbo trying all his might to overtake Rez, but Rez slides there, but Turbo slides even more and crashes into the wall. Drops more time, and he is in third position. And Sepe just flying out of nowhere, but he crashes because he went in too hot. And a 1-2 for CMC, and they seal Another round victory.
Yeah, Dunno, just too crashy right now. They have the speed, but they don't have the consistency. Morgi has the fastest time in the match by 0.6 of a second, so when he crashes at the start, it does make it interesting to see how much can he fight back. You know, there's a lot of potential for him to pass every other driver. But at the moment, he's out front anyway. But backup from his team is lacking right now. Oh, not anymore. Dunno are in a winning position by 1 point right now with 145. But this is very close as Sepe closes in on Pavel. Oof. Gets so close. Turbo makes a mistake in the tunnel, and so does Pavel, and Sepe goes past both of them. Jake with a bit of a slide at the wide turn there, but it's not enough to change. He's in third. CMC with a 2-3-4. Again, they're able to go safe. And just do it this way. Rez, don't fight for first. Just take your second. He kept fighting anyway. Didn't quite make it. Misses out by 600ths of a second.
Yes.
Nevertheless, CMC get the point.
Rez did really want to take that round win away from Morgi. Didn't succeed. That was not necessary as we are 5-1 in the lead. Round number 7. I saw a slide from some, I believe, the no driver. But Morgi didn't make any mistakes in this round so far. He is in the lead, followed by the fast CMC duo of Jake and Rez. I saw Turbo making a mistake and Sepe just blasted past him with a turkey horn. He is currently... Ooh, Sepe a bit too wide in the grass, and Jake I also saw going a bit wide, clipping the grass. Turbo sliding a bit in the tunnel. Sepe does close in a little bit, not quite to make an overtake. I saw him sliding once again, and Morgi is still first. But unless Sepe drops a position to Pavel, this should be a round win for CMC. Instead, Turbo crashes, allows Sepe into fourth, and it is another round win for CMC. Map points, I believe, 6-1.
Indeed. And Sepe putting in a useful performance here, bringing in some important points. So this is the last chance for Dunno. Morgi again. Morgi does have the speed. He goes into the lead again. Rez is right there fighting, and so is Jake. Managed to slip past him briefly. That is super tight. It's changing all the time at the front there. Morgi goes into the lead. And he does have enough backup from his teammates right now. By 1 point, Dunno have it. So CMC fight back, and Sepe gets past Pavel in the tunnel as Pavel hits the wall. Rez is in the lead. And at the moment, this is looking very promising for CMC. Even Jake is threatening to get past Morgi. It's going to be all down to this last turn on that score. Morgi gets it with equal times, but gets the extra point. But CMC with 135 takes the map, 7-1.
Yes, that didn't matter too much. Pretty comfortable map win for CMC, I would say. Not exactly what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And just like that, that is a clean sweep for CMC.
Rez and Jake with 1 and 2 on the driver points there. If Fast has got it correct this time. Fast and Trackmania sometimes disagree on points. So, I don't know if Jumper Jack and Lolo fight that out with their stats. we certainly see some anomalies from time to time, especially when there are equal times. But yeah, what was the result on Desert? Was that the CMC win also?
Yeah, that was definitely a CMC round win, but I forgot the score.
Well, the tale of the tape is in the stream, I suppose.
Yes, I also took screenshots, so
Yay!
I can always fall back onto those. Yeah, definitely took them.
So now what do we have to look forward to on Forgotten's channel?
Yes, on my channel we have a stream planned for Tuesday evening. That will be 21 CET, a Division 1 match between Crazy Machine Cheeks and Airvan. That should definitely be exciting. Watch out for that.
Of course, for anyone who's has got used to the European times, CEST, we've basically switched, dropped summertime now this weekend, and so everything we talk about is based on Central European time now. So it may be shifted an hour from what you're used to, depending on where you live.
Yes, so that concludes today's match and the whole meeting between CMC and Dunno², CMC² and Dunno². CMC² did take all 7 maps, which is definitely handy because Mech and especially TN2 are going to be a lot tougher. So yeah, unless you have anything else to add, I think we are done here.
I'll give a shout out this week to our viewers who have joined us for the action and interacted in the chat. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, thanks to everyone for tuning in. That's it from us for tonight. See you next time. Goodbye.
Good night.